To make the optional thumb by crocheting it for your mitten, take yarn with the tail end towards you, hold it between your thumb and pointer finger and wrap it around to make an X, and then put your crochet hook under and pull under and twist around your yarn, and then yarn over and pull through again to make your first loop. And there's your magic circle. Now we're going to do 12 single crochets in your magic circle. And so we're going to go under the loop, yarn over, you have 2 loops on your crochet hook, pull through 2. Go under the loop, pull up, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're going to do this 12 times around. And this was for my thumb. If you have making a glove for a thicker thumb, you might need to do a few more. If you're doing it for a smaller thumb, you might need to do a few less. So that you might have to play with, but this seemed to be about right for me. Once you get 12 of them on your circle, now we're going to pull the tail end of our yarn to close our circle. And then to join, we're just going to slip stitch through our first single crochet and our last loop, and then we're going to chain 1. And then I put a stitch marker right where my chain 1 is, because that is the beginning of our rows, and so this is you can keep track of how many rows you do, and you can move up that stitch marker. So now what we're going to do is I turn the work over, and we are going to do 12 single crochets going all the way around again. We're not going to be adding anymore because we want to work it up to make it in a round for our thumb. So this is kind of like if you've ever crocheted a basket. We want to kind of make a tube. So we're just going to keep working 12 single crochets in the round, and when we get back to our start, we're just going to keep doing 12 more single crochets, and I just move my stitch marker up so I know where my beginning is for each row. And now we're back to our starting point, and then we're going to just start over making 12 single crochets. So that's our crochet 1 and now 2, and we're going to work this around and around until you get the length of your thumb that you would like. And so then I'll speed this up a little bit as we're continuing to work in the round. Again, once you get back to your stitch marker, you just continue working your single crochet. You don't do any chains. You just keep doing 12. And then here it is after a little bit of a few rows, so you can see what it starts to look like. It should start looking like a little pot. And I'm just moving my stitch marker up. And then you can see it kind of forming the shape and the tip of the thumb, and kind of close our magic circle a little bit so you can see that. And then this is how I was measuring it to see how many stitches or single crochets I would want for my thumb, and that's why that 12 seemed to work really well in the beginning and continuing the 12 all the way up. So this is what you can do as well when you're making your thumb. So now we're going to just continue up because I like the shape that it's taking place until you get to the length that you need. And so here was my last one that I finished, my last row. And you just join the row with a slip stitch. And here's how it's going to look. And then you can just make sure that's about how long you want the thumb. And I did 13 rows. And then here to join, we're just going to do a slip stitch in our first single crochet, you could say. So I just go through that one and then I pull through. And then you can cut off the end of your yarn. You want to leave a long tail. And then this is how you are going to join the thumb to your mitten. You do it the exact same way as in the tutorial, as I did the knitted thumb on the 22 needle machine. You're just going to whip stitch it the same way. And so there is your thumb if you would like to crochet one. For the top of your thumb where the magic circle was, you just want to knot that. You close it real tight and then do a few knots, and then you can weave in your ends as well.